Let freedom ring. Let the white dove sing. Let the whole world know that today is a day of a reckoning.
All right, welcome back. We're on the horn here with Kevin Scholla. He's a Breitbart columnist, and he does the Palin update on Mama Grizzly Radio. Check him out. Google, look at Breitbart. He does some sports now, and obviously he's a sports aficionado. He's just aficionado on almost anything. Let's go to politics, Kev. And Keystone Pipeline today passed out of the Senate. Our own Senator Murkowski was front and center. She's chair of the Energy Committee. They had Democratic support. And what do you think, man? Obama's just no, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to put a 19th hole and a flag at the end of it, and maybe he'll say yes. I think, it's funny, though, seeing Mitch McConnell out there, smiling away and trying to take credit. But, it'd be nice to see, wouldn't it? I mean, look at what we've already learned, and, I mean, we knew this already, and it goes back to Governor Palin with Drill Baby Drill, but
right.
Look at the gas prices, finally down after just killing people for years. Obama takes credit for it, of course, ridiculously, but it's all about the fracking is what has done that. And, they don't want to admit that there's so many things that we can do from an energy standpoint, and the pipeline being one of them, to just keep our reliance off of any entities that we don't want to deal with. And so it's good news. You got to forge ahead, though.
You're so right about that, in that, the left never wants to admit that supply and demand is actually a real thing, and it's not just anecdotal. And we have a glut of oil on the market. We have some economic issues that are making the glut of oil a real thing. And I don't understand it. And you would think, okay, gas prices are low because we have a glut of oil on it. Some things can change. Maybe the Saudis will quit manipulating the price of crude and things will go back up. There's talk about it. But why don't we get more in the pipeline, have more in reserve, so that glut is always there, keeping prices, $1.50 maybe? I don't know, under $2 a gallon? That would be pretty nice. But the left is am I right? They're just fundamentally opposed to any resource development. I mean, as far as crude especially. It doesn't matter. You could bring up anything, stats, numbers, truths, children, babies. It doesn't matter. They're just going to be opposed to drilling.
Fundamentally opposed, yet we'll take the credit for the gas prices come election time.
Yeah,
saying, just look, this convoluted logic of the prices are down and I was the president when it happened.
Right.
Well, one doesn't have anything to do with the other. Again, they're all against, I don't know if you saw the movie Frack Nation, but
no.
That really that's something you got to check out, Eddie, when you get a chance.
Yeah.
That really exposes how important fracking is and what it can do for our country, and it has proven it now. But the pipeline situation, oh man, just go to social media already. You should see some of these just blanket ridiculous comments from Bleeding Hearts, like, "Oh, there goes the water," and just all these things.
Our children are going to have 3 arms, I mean,
Yeah. The people again who still think they're somehow, going to that the Earth, that they're going to kill the Earth somehow. So, listen, spray an aerosol can tonight in celebration, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I do. I mean, you raised a great point, Kevin, and that is that the president wants to take credit for low gas prices, but he's against. He has not opened up any kind of federal lands, things on federal land. Now, state lands. They've done that in spite of him. Development has happened in spite of the president's opposition. But then he still wants to take credit for it. And then when he has a chance to do something on a federal level, it's no. He just locked up Alaska, Kevin. And I don't know what people think in the lower 48. I know that's a flyby for them. But this is huge. I mean, this guy has shut down Alaska with this thing that he plans on doing as executive order to turn it into a wilderness. It is amazing. We have millions of acres up here, and I don't have to go into all this with you, but it's just incredible that he is now it's a war on. It's telling me a war on women. There's a war on production, oil development, and he's front leader. But like you said, you're going to take credit for the lower gas prices.
Well, two things on that. One, the old trick, no matter what the issue is, blame it on someone else, yet you're doing it but not getting the punishment for it. In other words, when they raise taxes, well, we won't call it that. We'll call it a fee or something else, and then we'll force the hand of, say, a local mayor or a local state senator, and then he'll get booted out of office, but you won't, and you could go around saying, I didn't do it, which technically you didn't, but you forced the guy's hand. Secondly, you look at Alaska and other states, you see what Obama's doing now on a lot of issues. He's punishing those states that didn't vote for him.
Oh,
and
sure.
he's making sure, to fund heavily in New York and California and Illinois and Massachusetts and, everywhere else that is Liberalville. So you're going to see a lot of that too. But look, what did this guy just say in the State of the Union? Global warming is our number one worry. That's the biggest threat. So more than ISIS, as Alan West eloquently put it, I never saw global warming cut anybody's head off.
No.
And you can't agree more. I mean, it sounds glib. You know what? He's dead on. I mean, it's ridiculous. Really? That's the number one issue with everything the families are going through every day, trying to, make ends meet and deal with schools and their children and their jobs. And that's what you're worried about. But this is what people are. I mean, it's amazing. You see this recycling, the recycling cult that's out there now.
Yeah.
I mean, they think that's more important. Abortion's fine, but you take that plastic bottle and throw it in the wrong can, buddy, you get the electric chair.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. I don't know quite how to, address this, but here we have I'm going to ask you something. All right, I know we're conservatives, and so we bash Obama. That's what we do. But when there is things like in Syria, Yemen now has fallen. The administration was just foaming. I only got about 2 minutes, darn it. But all these things that are going on in the world, we can list them off. Syria, Yemen, Iraq, Iran is now making... And he is just oblivious to it all. And he's worried about global warming. You got it. You're the man, I tell you.
Yeah.
What do you, is it just us conservatives that are crazy? I mean, what do you say about all these things that are going on in the world that he's just... He's MIA, missing in action.
Well, I think best case scenario is he's oblivious on some things. Look at all those countries you rattled off. What do they all have in common? They're all Muslim countries.
Yeah.
And this is Barack Obama. Again, you know where he stands. You know what he thinks about the U.S. and about Israel, and you know what he thinks about these other countries that you just mentioned. So I think that plays a big role in it, too. And you need people like Sarah Palin and Ted Cruz and others who are going to call him out and call Hillary out and call the rest of them out every turn, instead of the Boehners and the McConnells of the world, who, as Sarah Palin, to paraphrase, put it very well about the GOP leadership. It's not only the New England Patriots with deflated balls.
Hey, talk about Sarah a little bit. She didn't get some good credits out of the whatever that function they had down there. Some of her critics are beating up on her that she didn't give a good speech or was rambling or whatever. What's your comments on that?
Yeah. Well, the comments are clear. It's good news for the people who actually pay attention. When Sarah Palin's the liberals are going to be in a tizzy all the time. It's
right.
We know that. But when the quote-unquote so-called conservatives go after her, well, then she's really doing something right, because they're all scared now. The liberals obviously know that she is that opposite. She is that that difference that you could put out there against somebody. And now you have these columnists. Guess why they don't like her? Because they have candidates that they like. That's why.
I'm out of time, brother. Thank you.